Think about this. What's a bigger risk for an employer? You invest in your employees, you train them, and they leave, or you don't invest in your employees, and you don't train them, and they stay. Which one's a bigger risk? Let me tell you about 4 apprentices. Last time I taught apprenticeship at work was in 1996. And I had Mike, and I had David, and I had Ray and Jay, and they were twins. Mike's one of our project managers right now. David works out at the Duke Energy Steam Plant in instrumentation and controls. And whenever he has overflow work or projects, guess who he calls? We got 10 guys working out there right now. David doesn't work for us, but we work for David. Ray is an inspector locally here. So he's an electrical inspector. Jay spent several years working on an oil rig. No work on oil rigs right now. He's working with us again. He's one of the 10 out at Duke Energy Steam Plant. So that was the 4 apprentices we graduated in 1996. We have 7 of our project managers went through our apprenticeship program whenever they started. The 4 guys I just talked about came to work with us at 18. They finished the 4-year apprenticeship program, so at 22 they were journeyman electricians, got a certificate from the state, went and took their Asheville City journeyman's exam, so they've got a city card, got it right away. The guys that come through our apprenticeship program, they generally get the city card, pass that test the first time they take it. We have 45 apprentices that have their city journeyman card, or excuse me, 45 journeymen that were part of our apprenticeship program. So of our licensed journeymen, we have quite a few. Started the program before I was born in 1951. Then over the years since 1980, when the state started keeping the records, since then we've graduated 99 from our apprenticeship program. So we've had quite a few people come through the apprenticeship program over the years. The company itself started back in 1921. We incorporated in 35. They didn't start licensing electrical contractors until the 30s. We were one of the first electrical contractors licensed. Our license number, one time Tamara got a phone call from somebody and said, "We need your license number." And she said, "Well, this is our license number." And she said, she came to me and she said, "They say it's got to be a 5-digit number." Tell them it's 0003-U. So our license number is the lowest one that's still active in the state. I started in the electrical department in 1981, and we had an apprenticeship program. Sometimes we used AB Tech for training, sometimes we had nobody in the program. Still had the program active, but nobody in it, but as economies go up and down. And we made a change at one point and we said, look, we're getting a really good general coverage whenever we do this with AB Tech, but we need specific. We do industrial, we do commercial, we do residential service. We don't do any new residential construction. We need it to be for us. So we pulled it in-house. So we, nothing wrong with AB Tech and the training there, but we wanted it for the way we wanted our people to work and what we wanted them to do. The benefits from that is not only have we taught them what we want them to do technically, we teach them the Haynes way. That's how we do things. This is how we do things. So we have an opportunity in that 4-year apprenticeship, while they're getting 8,000 hours of experience of OJT, they also have classroom training. And who do we use in the classroom? Former apprentices. So everybody that's teaching our apprenticeship program was an apprentice at one point in time. So we use them for apprentices. We we use them as the teachers in training the apprentices. And what we want to do is teach them what it means to work at a place where our goal is to make a positive, long-lasting impact while we develop people, while we serve customers, while we build relationships, support our community, increase value. So we do a lot of maybe it's brainwashing, maybe it's indoctrination, maybe whatever the right word to use is, but we want them to know the Haynes way, and we want them to be loyal to MB Haynes and bleed MB Haynes red. So that's what we do. One of the neat things is a couple of years ago we became 100% employee owned. So now we're an ESOP, and as an ESOP we have begun to work closer together with the different divisions. So while the electrical groups may be a third of the corporation, we've got 600 and how many? 635 folks now. And we do anything to do with buildings. So we build them, we maintain them, we bring in equipment, we have millwrights, we have electricians, we have plumbers, we have HVAC technicians, we have fireproofing's become a separate trade. We have HVAC controls, building automation, fire alarms, what have I left out? Utility line crews, the big trucks, big red trucks that you see out on the road that aren't Duke trucks, but we do their work for them. We have the different divisions, and what a struggle we had for a while, and some of the struggle that Tamara had in human resources, is that some of the divisions weren't doing much with training. What they were wanting is, I want a guy to come in here that's got experience, I want him to hit the ground running, and this is who I need, and they ain't out there. If they are and they're worth having, they're working, and their employer loves them. We got to grow around. So now we have, last year we had 20-something involved in our pole line construction apprenticeship. We had, I'm not sure how many we've got in HVAC.
HVAC, sure. Yeah, we'll probably have now about, well, with the ones that they just registered, we probably have about 13.
So we've got several in the HVAC technicians. We hadn't got the plumbers converted yet, but we're working on that. We are doing more training in-house, and again, what we've seen is that by doing it in-house, it costs more and it takes more time, but it's really paid off. And even in the last 2 years, we've made some big changes. Usually what would happen is we'd start with 12, and by year 2, it drops to 6, and then it drops to 4, and we graduate 2 at the end of 4 years. Last year, we started with 26. We have 22 coming back this year. We have, as far as going from first year to second year, there's in the third year and fourth year, I think we've got 7 in third year and 5 in fourth year. But usually the biggest dropouts between first and second year. So we worked with those trainers and said, look, one of the biggest things is to try to develop those relationships, help them to see the big picture. Not this is what you do, but this is what you do. You're part of this, and have them see a bigger picture. That's been very effective. So we're retaining a lot more of our apprentices now from year to year. We'll graduate a good crop. In a couple of years, we'll graduate more than we have in quite a while. But we have had very much success with it, and I'm on the next panel, so do we need to take questions now? What else do y'all need to know about from what we do?
You want to talk about recruiting in high schools? To Julie's question.
Yes, we love opportunities to recruit in high schools. We've been to some of them. I know that we went to Madison back in the spring. And what we try to do when we go to the high schools also, and doing something a little bit different, instead of somebody like me going to high school, and they don't care what I have to say, we try to find somebody. We have somebody from your high school working for us, and they're still in their 20s. And whenever they go and talk to those kids about what they're doing, they listen to them. So yes, we're very interested in coming to any high school, anytime, anywhere. And what we see is we see also that the sixth graders, they still think construction work's cool. Now, seniors in high school, they don't think construction work's cool. Very few of them do. So if we can get them young, that's good too. Yes.
I have a question pertaining to the needs, meeting the needs or attitudes of millennials and Xers. And you have these young adults coming in, and they don't tend to stick with things. I was kind of curious about the retention rate for that age group and what you're seeing now, and does apprenticeship meet their needs as millennials and Xers?
When we get millennials that stick, they are some of the best employees we have ever had. We love them.
So you're saying that some don't?
Yes. Yeah, we have a good bit of attrition the first year.
How much?
I don't know, but a pretty high amount of attrition in the first year. Once they're second, third year, they stay. But But again, and what we feel like is, I know that you try to in high school, they need to know you come to work every day, you're on time, you work while you're at work, you don't do this all day, you keep your phone in your pocket except at break time, and it's constant with a lot of them. But once you get the ones that can get that, and part of them leave of their own volition and part of them don't. But once they get it, they're great. So and also it's been difficult. We've had to do a lot of training with our boomers, because the attitude is, come and get it if you want it, you can train and I'll help you, but outside of that, it's on you. And that doesn't work with them. So we've still got some of those folks, but we also have some that will take time and try to teach and train and let somebody see the big picture, and then they stick.